So I was one of the few lucky creators that got flown out to 2K to play Borderlands 4 early. They provided my flight, my hotel, some meals, my Ubering around, all that stuff. I emphasized at the beginning because this is a video that is sponsored by 2K. Really appreciate them having me out. It was an absolute honor as somebody that's been playing Borderlands since I was a literal child to be flown out to get to play the game early. But with this video, I'm going to be going over a lot of different stuff, my expectations going in, the pros, the cons, and just some rambling. So I want to be really honest, objective about this, but also emphasize again, they did help me out a lot in creating this video. So big thanks to 2K and Gearbox. So let's first talk about my expectations going into this event to play Borderlands 4. I was really hoping to get to try out a lot of the different movement tech, see the open world, try out the weapons, especially since we had this new part system and everything, and just kind of like see, does this feel like a Borderlands game? Because Borderlands has absolutely evolved since Borderlands 1, when it used to be just, sand, dust, and dirt. Now it's very colorful, very vibrant. We have a lot of eco worlds within the game itself. So I just want to kind of like identify, does this still feel like Borderlands? And you know what? It absolutely does. So let's start talking about some of the pros that I experienced on this event. First and foremost, the movement tech of this game is absolutely stupendous. The gliding aspect of this game now is amazing and is perfect in combat, especially in connection with your whip that you're able to use on those little access points to fly you up in the air. You can just like double tap glide real fast, keep that momentum for yourself. It is absolutely amazing. It's something we haven't experienced yet in Borderlands, and I'm somebody who really likes movement tech in games like Apex Legends and Doom Eternal. Those are kind of like my absolute pillars of movement tech and everything, and I think Borderlands 4 is now its own pillar within there because they have absolutely listened and learned to all those other games, took the good parts about them and put it in here. And I think we're all going to be having a lot of fun flying around these maps with all this new movement. It is absolutely amazing. Talking about the open world itself, I was honestly a little back and forth on it. I was like, oh my gosh, is this going to be fun? Is this going to be exciting? Because I think I feel like Borderlands 2. Borderlands 2 had big maps, but they weren't really filled in. All the spots you went to were like side missions, objectives like that. But like everything between there was just kind of basic. It was really a point A to point B type scenario. In Borderlands 3, every map kind of felt like it was just like really story oriented. You don't feel like you were, traveling around the world looking for things. You felt like you were just, again, going from point A to point B. Versus Borderlands 4, that feels open. It feels filled. There's events that are going on within it. You catch yourself just like stopping at like a little spot on the side of the road and looting a chest and fighting some enemies, and you look across the way and there's some more enemies, and you go over there and you start fighting them so you can get some XP and see what loot they're going to drop. And then what do you know? There's an event popping up right across the way from you as well, so you then go over to do that. You are going to catch yourself getting absolutely lost in this world because they have absolutely nailed the entire concept behind an open world. And this is purely on Kairos. I mean, we're eventually going to get up onto like the moon and everything, so I can't imagine what's going to be up there. But on the basic world itself, they have absolutely nailed it, and I'm so excited to try out more of this world. It's pretty amazing. So let's talk about the characters I got to play as. I got to play as Vex and Rafa. First off with Vex, she obviously has her 3 different action skills. She has the one that kind of like boosts up her abilities, makes her throw around those like little balls that explode. She has Trouble, her like pet saber-tooth tiger looking creature. And then she also has her kind of clones, the Reaper clone that's going to run around and kind of like taunt damage. And then she has the ones that are just pretty much a standard turret clone that would just like shoot whatever she's like pointing at and everything like that. All of these are absolutely amazing. I think I am very excited to try out all the build crafting with Vex. I think she's very unique for a Siren, and I think that's going to be amazing. In regards to Rafa, he's absolutely my day one. Like, I don't even care how good Amon and Harlow are now. Rafa is my boy. Holy God, his tree is so freaking cool. His trait is really awesome. I'm going to be talking about these in some future videos, but overall, Rafa is pretty much the second coming of Zane and probably a little bit stronger along the way. The skill trees themselves are very unique, and I love them so much. all of them kind of have 3 extra branches at the bottom that go into their capstone, and these capstones are freaking strong and really change up the gameplay. It's not like other Borderlands games where the capstone was, a really good ability. This is a entire build changing ability that is going to be popping up for you. So I think you're going to be noticing a lot of people investing into one singular tree versus doing like a little bit in green, a little bit in red, a little bit in blue. I think that's kind of, with these capstones and how important they are to build diversity, I think you're gonna be noticing a lot of people doing this. But overall, the characters themselves are amazing. I like the attitudes and the vibes of these characters. Vex is super sarcastic and funny, and Rafa, I'm a very straight man, but he got me going. He got me going. Let's talk about the weapons, the part systems, the underbarrels. The weapons were wacky and fun. I'm going to be talking about the weapons a little bit more here in a minute, but overall, I think all the weapons are going to be super unique and different from one another, specifically because of the underbarrels. The underbarrel system, I feel like, is getting kind of slept on right now. I don't feel like we're really paying much attention to it because of the part system. The underbarrels are strong as hell. Oh my gosh, they're so amazing. I had a Vladov AR that had a shotgun underbarrel on it, and I practically just wanted to use that underbarrel the entire time because it absolutely smacked everyone that I was going up against. It is awesome. It is a unique, fun addition to the game. I had one underbarrel that shot out a buzzsaw that would bounce between targets, and Anthony, one of the developers, was right behind me, and he's like, I just saw that hit 6 people at once. I've never seen it do that before, and it had me cracking up. It was so funny, and it was so fun and enjoyable to have these wacky weapons back in Borderlands. That kind of feeds into the gameplay, and the gameplay was absolutely amazing. Again, kind of adding in those awesome weapons, my awesome abilities, the movement tech into it. It was super crisp and delicious. I loved it so much. It was, oh my god, I cannot wait to play this again. I caught myself just like having an objective in my mind going into it, what I wanted to do, and getting lost in the gameplay instead, and being like, oh my gosh, I have not done 5 of the things I wanted to do in this playtest. I've just been, playing and fighting and enjoying myself. The Moxie machine is going to be absolutely amazing. Holy god, this is so seamless and amazing. They have absolutely nailed farming in this game now, especially on bosses. Save quitting is a thing of the past. The Moxie machine is forever. And kind of speaking of enemies, the enemies were freaking awesome. I specifically only really got to fight against order enemies, and they are one of the most unique and different enemy types that we've ever had in a Borderlands game. I feel like from Borderlands 1 to 3, pretty much you had a good idea of who everyone was and what they did whenever you fought them, versus these guys were suddenly the warden was opening up a portal above his head and shooting out these drones that were attacking me, but right before that he was shooting different blasts at me. I was like, what the heck is this guy doing? I think this is crazy. And then there was obviously the modified enemies within there as well. I think a lot of people are going to be apprehensive about the mod enemies. I like them a lot as somebody who comes from games where sometimes the enemy has a different buff on it that makes them a little bit stronger and different. I think that's great for the challenge of the game and something that I'm giving 2 thumbs up absolutely. So, kind of a quick summary overall, my pros. Movement is amazing. The open world is filled and wonderful. Skill trees are awesome. Weapons and underbarrels are great. The gameplay was flawless. Moxie machine forever. And enemies are fun and challenging. So, let's start talking about my cons. First and foremost, I have to make a public apology to Killer6 for making fun of him so much for wanting a mini-map instead of the compass system. I was wrong. The compass system is not it. It's not it specifically for the fights in the game. It works really well in the open world because, again, when you're in that open world, having an above compass is really nice to kind of lead you from point A to point B. Echo 4 was great, even though a lot of times Echo 4's beam that would lead you to a specific spot would cut through walls and stuff like that. And I would have to reactivate it to kind of get it to re-figure out its path towards whatever my objective was. But the compass system in combat was just not it. When we had the minimap, we had a bird's eye view above us and kind of had an idea of what, where an enemy was behind us. They were in front of us, behind us, something like that. With the compass system up top, even though it looks sleek and amazing, it's really hard to figure out who is shooting me from where, because I end up throwing myself 180 and overshooting wherever that enemy was, still looking around, and then I'm starting to get shot from the side. Then I, adjust and look over the side and I'm like, oh, there he is. But, if I just had a mini-map, I would immediately know this. Now, I know Gearbox has emphasized that this is going to be just impossible for them to add, but I can tell you this, every single creator that has played at that event told me specifically that they wish there was a mini-map. literally everyone. And you know what? Props to K6 for being right. We were all wrong. We absolutely do need a minimap back. We need at least the option to bring back a minimap. I'm gonna be honest, there's a lot of months between now and September. You have a lot of time to do that, and especially if you're releasing the game early, you clearly feel like you have a lot of issues that you had before aren't there. So I think this would be a good time to consider adding in that minimap. Again, I'm all for developers trying something new and different with their games, but they definitely, I mean, are taking away a really solid quality of life that before I was like, yeah, no, it's fine. Like, the compass system would be great. And now I'm going, actually, I kind of want that mini map back. And now to the part system. Like, now I know, like I just said that, you know, the part system was wacky and fun and all that other stuff. But as the builder, as the farmer of Borderlands weapons, this is going to make it feel very difficult to find what I want specifically. I've played many Borderlands games, and every single time a new game comes out, a little bit more RNG is added onto it. And I am so worried about trying to find the specific weapon that I want because of this wacky part system. It's not like the part system of previous games where, you know, you just like gave you a little bit better recoil, something like that. This is going to dramatically change how your weapon functions from part to part. If you have a Maliwan part on there, you're likely going to have elements, but like, you know, maybe you're playing Vex and you're really focusing on your kinetic damage. You don't need that. Maybe you are somebody that doesn't like to deal with, you know, TDO chucks and something like that. And you're constantly getting a TDO report that is making you have to reload like that. It is very kind of frustrating to find something. Now, again, I wasn't farming for any specific weapon in this build. I was just, you know, enjoying all the wacky weapons. But I absolutely can see from the get-go how this is going to be an issue with just more and more RNG added into our weapons. Especially when it comes to legendaries. Legendaries are going to have a set part that it makes them legendary and different from one another, but then they're going to have 3 more parts that are going to dramatically change it up. I can tell you right now, pretty much every weapon is going to need a Torque part, is going to need a Jacobs part, and a Maliwan part. If you don't get those, your weapon is going to feel a lot less. And it's not even going to be just be like, oh my gosh, it's just going to be a little less powerful. No, the fact that these have dramatically changing abilities on them are going to dramatically change how that weapon operates. So if you have, you know, like a Maliwan weapon with, you know, a Jacobs part that gives it a lot of crit, and you notice like, oh my gosh, it's smacking, and then you lose that crit bonus, it's not going to feel as great. Now, hopefully I'm wrong, and hopefully I just didn't get a good enough grasp on what the part system was. Really hoping for that. But so far, I'm feeling a little back and forth with that, especially with the Moxie's machine. Like, even though I will have that, you know, endless ability to farm something, it's gonna be a little trying to get that specific drop, especially with them emphasizing that legendaries are legendary again, and it's going to be so much harder to get those specific drops I want. And lastly, there was a few little technical issues I had along the way. There was some stuttering, some like frame drops. I'm pretty much just like chalking that up to like an early build. They did emphasize before we went in that what we had been playing was about 3 weeks old compared to where they were at that current moment. So they have been updating things. They have been fixing things over time. So I'm hoping that a lot of these issues that I had along the way have already been fixed. But yeah, there was a few little UE5 kind of technical issues that is what like some of the other people around me were saying. But overall, I think it should be fine if you're on a good PC. But like, again, if you're somebody that's playing on PC and you're kind of running an old system, you're probably going to feel it. So a little summary over the cons. Mini-map. We need a mini-map. We just need a mini-map. Sorry, K6. We need a mini-map. Part system. Too much RNG is not great. It, you know, I agree. Some people are like make weapons feel unique and different no matter what, but I kind of want like my time to feel like not wasted, farming constantly for a couple random parts. And then finally, a little bit of technical issues. Hopefully those are just, you know, a wash just from what I was playing. And now my kind of rambling thoughts. I literally did not script this part at all. This is just me talking. I'm so excited for Borderlands 4. I don't care about these few little cons. I can get over a mini-map likely and deal with the compass system. All of these pros that I have are just like absolutely amazing. I have never been so excited to play a Borderlands game. Like, obviously, I'm super excited because I got to play it early, and I had Gearbox and 2K take it away from me, and now I'm like, oh, I want this back so bad. But like, I cannot emphasize enough to you guys that I think they have listened and learned from these past games. I think they've listened and learned from competitors as well, seeing what they have done right and added into this game. Like, oh my gosh, that is like one of the biggest things I love when developers do that, when they like see what someone else did right and like implement their game and not just be like, well, I'm gonna stick to my guns and not do anything at all. I'm not gonna evolve myself. I'm not gonna better myself. The fact that they have evolved and bettered themselves by seeing like other good things from other good games has me so freaking excited at the direction Gearbox is taking Borderlands 4. The open world feel is absolutely amazing. I have wanted a more open world Borderlands game for a while now. I was constantly pitching the idea of the Border Worlds or something like that, where it was kind of an online MMO. And this is the closest I've ever felt like we've gotten to that. Just from how unique every character feels, unique how the world feels, unique how the weapons feel. It just feels like this feels like maybe it could be the ultimate Borderlands game. Like seriously, like beats out 2. Like I know people have issues with Borderlands 3. I thought Borderlands 3 was amazing. It was like probably like the best feeling to that time Borderlands game, and they have just taken all that and just like absolutely sent it to the moon. It is going to be insane. If I had to give this a rating out of 10, at the time when I got out of gameplay, I said it was a 7 out of 10 to the people around me. But now sitting at home, going back over my footage, reminiscing on all that stuff I did, it's like a solid 8.5 out of 10. You know, it's gone up. Obviously, there's some issues that kind of bring that down for me. It's things I think I'm going to be able to live with once I have the full build and maybe I'll try all the other characters out. But this is going to be the Borderlands game. This is going to be the Borderlands game of all time. I really think so. And I know there's gonna be people in the comments saying, oh my god, he's just glazing Gearbox, oh, he's glazing 2K, they sponsored and they did all this stuff. Guys, you didn't play it. You didn't play it. You don't realize how amazing this is. You don't realize how well they have done. Like, props to Gearbox for taking the ultimate challenge of being like, you know what, we're going to really put our money where our mouth is and make the best Borderlands game possible. Again, big thanks to 2K for having me out. Appreciate ya. You're amazing. Keep on being you. To my fans out there who have helped make this channel and got me to the point where, you know, I was considered by a big studio to come out and play their game. I love you. You're amazing. You are my everything. I have no words whatsoever for you. You're amazing. If you haven't already, make sure you're following the channel. Make sure you're subscribing. I'm obviously going to be covering a crap ton of Borderlands when it launches. So please subscribe now while you can. Comment down below any questions you have from this video. I will do my best to explain out anything that I got to play. If there's something I didn't mention in this video that you want me to talk about, please let me know. Again, remember, you can pre-order Borderlands 4 if you liked all the gameplay I was doing. There's a lot of other great creators out there that were at the event. Watch some of their gameplay. Just click in the link below and pre-order it for yourself. Let me know as well what Vault Hunter you're playing. If you're interested in Vex or Rafa and have any specific questions, please put those down below. I'm like, honest to God, going to do my best to answer every single freaking question that is on this video. It is going to look horrendous. The comment section is going to be so chocked, but I'm going to do everything I can to answer every single question for everybody because, you know, I went to this event to get information from everyone at this channel. So please let me know your questions down below. And also follow me over on YouTube and Twitter at Byrdman778. I'm probably going to be streaming again here soon when Borderlands 4 launches. So thank you so much, everybody. And I hope you have a great night, day, or whatever it may be.